question for all of you today is, before you even watch, really the main thing I'm going to say in this video is, do you believe the game Destiny 2 right now, not in a week with Lightfall, not 6 years ago with Destiny 1, right here, right now, do you believe Destiny 2 is an easy or hard game? And the second part to that question, do you believe that's what the game should be? If you're a person who believes the game is an easy game and believes that the game should be easy to you as a player, then I would love to hear that, answer in the comments down below. So please put your thoughts in the comments down below so we can hear it. Let's create a discussion. And if you are another different type of person that believes the game should be harder and agrees with that harder type lifestyle, of course put your thoughts in the comments down below. Of course, I would love to look at these comments. I would love to create a discussion with you in the comments, because it makes it pretty cool to, of course, engage with my viewers, and I feel like I haven't done that in a while, so it's a little bit of a, awesome creator viewer bonding, if you want to say it at that. But this video really focuses on, is Destiny 2 an easy or a hard game? And with Lightfall releasing, we are going in a major direction in terms of the general difficulty of Destiny, and with it being confirmed that after the Light and Dark saga it will be over, Destiny will still be a game in like 6 years. I can't believe it. We are going to see a lot of different directions, a lot of major directions in the difficulty of gameplay when it comes to a person who's a Destiny 1 vet to a new Light Guardian that just played the game a day ago. So the general difficulty is a major question to all of us. Should we have an easy or should we have a hard game when it comes to it? Now, I have been through a lot of friends throughout my Destiny 2 career, if you say that has very different answers to this question. There's many people who just want to have the enemy density in the game to be raised to 100, right? And not have the difficulty just be any harder, just be where it is, normal size difficulty. And then there's some people that I've met who would rather want some enemy density I should say, up, but have the enemy difficulty mildly 100 and have it harder, complex all the way throughout. Now, whoever you agree with, whatever you agree with, it's up to you as a person what you prefer doing. Do you rather like shooting enemies constantly, or would you rather want to have actually more methods of oh guys, we gotta use teamwork to defeat this goal by any chance, because this enemy is way too hard for us. If you're a person who plays Grandmasters, who plays Raids, who plays all of this, then you understand that the general difficulty in those are a bit harder than anything before. Same can be said if you do solo or flawless, activities like dungeons, Presage back in year 4, or anything like that. So you understand the risk, the challenge when you do harder activities. It's either because you want to, of course, get a weapon of some kind, a triumph of some kind, an item, or you just like that gameplay, setup. You like doing a lot of things to, of course, go through and, again, achieve a common goal here. I am in the middle with this, as I'm not the best at Destiny. You can see me constantly dying on streams. I'm not the best when it comes to this. And with Destiny 2 changing entirely throughout the last couple of years, with, us getting a new Darkness subclass, now getting another one, and now with our Light subclasses being enhanced, a lot of people has been making the case that our Guardian is getting stronger, and the enemies aren't getting stronger. We need more enemies. And all in year 4, a big goal that I think a lot of people like Dado and a lot of people are saying is that the enemy density matters. And I feel like that's a great thing. The enemy density in an activity matters. If we're going to be gods, and like we're basically gods already now in the video game, we should be shooting at a lot of enemies. And I can agree with the enemy density when it comes to things. I feel like, again, if you go to the Throne World or go to the Cosmodrome, you're not going to find enemy density anywhere. You go to a place like Heist Battlegrounds or like anything else in terms of the seasonal activities, because I feel like the seasonal activities has been learning from the community feedback when it comes to enemy density. You can see that there's a lot of enemies everywhere, and that's something that a lot of us do like. Some might not like it, but some do like. Again, our community is sort of a little bit like, different. It's just a bit of unconfused or unsurance on what they actually really want when it comes to enemy density and when it comes to general difficulty. With the Legendary campaign, almost 2 out of 3 Guardians who completed it did it on Legendary campaign. Now that is going to be amazing. We know that a lot of people love the difficulty change up when Lightfall, when Final Shape probably brings the Legendary campaign again. A lot of people love that enhanced challenge, and I feel like a lot of people love it. So, is Bungie, is Destiny, the video game itself, is it heading into a direction where you could see general difficulty being even lifted up even higher than it has ever been? Yes. One of the big goals for Lightfall from a developer who really wanted to just show off, all of the Year 6 news, I believe it was Joe Blackfirm, and really just show off what their entire goals are for the Year 6 seasonal model, is to lift the general difficulty of the video game entirely. Like, lift it big time. Destiny 1 can be a game that a lot of us love, but some of the difficulty there was not as good as it is in Destiny 2. As back in Destiny 1, there wasn't really a lot of, if you want to say, enemy density, and some might disagree with me with that, but you can see more enemy density in Destiny 2 than in Destiny 1. Because I feel like the community back then weren't really, focusing a lot on the enemy density, as we might not have been that strong back then. In Destiny 1, you can say then that we were strong. We had a lot of abilities. We had Void, we had Arc, and eventually, depending on your class, you got your 3rd subclass in the Taking King. You were strong. You had a lot of customization before it was technically removed when Destiny 2 came out, and you didn't really have customization anymore. But the point I am saying that is, as we grow in our power, as we are going to unlock Strand in basically a week as of this video, we are going to be very strong Guardians. And it comes to a question where, if that's the case, do we really want to have the game lifted to 100? Do you really think it should be lifted to all-out intensity, crushing difficulty, where you're going to have to train hard on every, battlefield possible and every destination that you play in Destiny 2? Now, what I stand with this is that I think that it should be kind of a half and half type sense. If you want to play harder type activities at a harder type activity, a harder difficulty, then you should be able to choose that option. If you're a new Light Guardian, sorry, I'm having a huge cough, cold, you know me, I'm all over the place, but sorry about that, but if you're a Guardian who's a new Light, who just wants to get through, want to really just enjoy the Destiny experience, but not at a hard difficulty as someone who plays Grandmasters and such, then shouldn't you have the option to do so? Shouldn't you have the option to be able to pick, some place where on the menu or something where you don't want the game to be at max, power level, max intensity. You can see this in any, solo, game that you played, where the first button you see is, would you want this game to be easy, normal, hard, or extreme? It's just like that. Do you want this game to be very difficult? So you can probably see that what I'm implementing is something like that, in a way where you can of course change at any time, but it should be up to the player to pick the difficulty. As not everyone in this video who is watching this is going to agree on the same thing. It would be amazing if it would. I would love to see that, but that's not going to be the case, I don't think. Parts of me, as a Destiny 2 YouTuber, I don't want this game to be too difficult. I love the challenge, but I didn't want it to be too difficult. I kind of wasn't prepared for the season when Heist Battlegrounds became a thing, when I wanted to rush in and use my new Arc subclass or Void subclass, basically, and rush in. I was not prepared to be internally, throughout the season, just blown out of pieces, because I was not prepared for the general difficulty. Was it very surprising to me? Yes. And it was very interesting to play in this new model, as I couldn't rush in really anymore. I actually felt like it was a bit harder. And this also comes to the shove where, hey, I don't have any friends to play with. How am I supposed to go through and play these harder activities without any friends? That is also a big question. Of course, we're getting an LFG finder in Season 23, which is the last season before Final Shape, which is great, so basically the end of this year. But it comes to shove, until then, it's kind of difficult to find a fire team if you know every activity is so goddamn hard, and Bungie might not implement matchmaking to everything. If the general difficulty is going to be lifted to 100, and with champions and everything still being a thing, shouldn't people be able to just matchmake every activity? I know there's a lot of people who say no to this, and I know it's probably never going to happen now with the LFG in the game, LFG finder in the game, but at one time I was thinking, why isn't raids, normal raids, why isn't normal dungeons, not master dungeons, normal dungeons, matchmake? Why can't I just get people from there? If the difficulty of those are going to be lifted, and as we know, year 6 is going to bring a lot of activities to its like max power level, max difficulty as we lean into year 6, year 7, we know that the seasons aren't going to be just Season of Worthy, Season of Dawn type difficulty. It's actually going to be strong, and this is something that a lot of us have to prepare for, because I gotta tell you, I was not prepared to be faced like this, and I feel like now that we're gonna get really strong, and now with the customization of new subclasses and all these new changes to our, mod loadout and customization throughout the board, and how we are just growing in strength, it's going to be very interesting to see where our Guardian has to face in the challenges ahead in year 6 and in year 7. But yeah, this is all for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Of course, it was sort of a short video, but it's something that I feel like all of you should answer with this before, of course, you leave this video, is do you believe this game is easy, or do you believe this game is hard? Answer me that question. Tell your friends, share your friends with this video, make so we can get a huge discussion going on terms of what Destiny is heading in year 6 with Lightfall. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.